Welcome back, everybody, to the Marvel Snapcast podcast. I'm your host, Ken, a.k.a. the Super Tech Guy, the person with every variant in the game.
Every variant?
Every variant. Of course, I'm here with your co-host, the one and only, as always, Mr. Epic Sax Man himself, Mr. Deadpool Diner himself, the one and only, it's Guest Gaming. Welcome on in, buddy. How are you?
Good, man. Good. It's been a good day. It's been a long day, but that's every Thursday. And yeah, Deadpool Diner is here, and I finally got to let the world know that I got to do the Deadpool Diner video again. So we see the before and after. So
yep.
Yeah, it was really cool to be able to conceptualize, especially in a short period of time, how to make everybody understand, here's the before, here's the after. But I don't want to bog you down with ridiculous, unnecessary amounts of information. But if you want to look at everything, because it's going to go live with the game mode, which it did, here you go. So I think it's like just over 3 minutes, but there's so much I threw into 3 minutes. I was very happy with it. So
I was impressed. It's a great video. Did a great job, as always, explaining exactly what the mode is all about. You're great at doing that, so I'm happy that Second Dinner reached back out to give you that honor to go ahead and explain it to us folks who want to know exactly what the nachos mean, how you get them, etc. Yeah. You did a good job for 3 minutes. Shout out to you for that. And speaking of awesome jobs, we got something to talk about this week, and that is the patch notes that came out on the. What's so funny? What's the funny thing? What's it?
The listeners heard it. Continue. Go on. It moment's
passed.
Say
awesome?
Passed.
Okay. All right. Speaking of awesome, the awesome job that happened this week, the patch notes for September 16. We're talking about the awesome, of course, bringing back of Deadpool's Diner, but, of course, some of these other things that we're going to mention. Kicking things off with, finally, you can now purchase borders with tokens instead of gold. I think that's huge, especially for everyone who, not even the people that have a plethora of tokens, but those people who've been playing the game and doing their dailies and getting their 3K tokens when they do their upgrading of their cards. I think it's huge that now you don't have to worry about spending gold, precious gold, because that gold should be stored for bundles and everything else you want to get in the game. So now, if you want to make your card list look nice and pretty with all black matte borders, you don't have to worry about spending gold. You're going to spend your tokens on it. Guess how do you feel about that awesome change?
This specific change shocked the hell out of me when it came to community reception. Like, the amount of people that, even in my own live chat, that came on in and saw this and was like, but now it costs tokens. I'm like, yeah. And it's an increase in only accessibility, not in cost. Like, if you look at the gold to token ratio, it's exactly the same. It just says, okay, a lot of people that have had tokens in the past that didn't have other places to use them, you can now use them on borders. And there's a lot of people that had a lot of tokens after the whole changeover when we went to Snap Packs. So this change is more so for the longer time players, but it doesn't hurt anybody. And I know we're going to get comments down below, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me and saying it does hurt this. And I'm like, I strongly disagree, because every argument that was brought into my chat, I disagreed with as well, which is, it was gold and tokens should be for cards and gold should be for bundles. Okay, you can still do that. This doesn't hurt you. Your farming, your initiatives are going to stay your priorities, that's a better word, are going to stay exactly the same. And the amount of people that ended up seeing this and going, oh, they're trying to take my precious tokens away from me now. You can still take your gold and convert it into tokens to get the border. Like, it just, I don't get that. I just don't get it. It just makes no sense to me. The backlash that I heard from it, because not everything Second Dinner does is bad. And this is, call me a shill. I don't give a fuck. But, like, I'm sorry. This, mathematically speaking, this has, like, mathematically, I'm just not even like preferential anythings. Mathematically, this does not make any difference. It's just more accessibility.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I think everybody should also keep in mind, this is just borders. This is not cards. So, again, you don't really have to use your tokens on these. I said that in my stream. You don't have to spend your tokens on these. I understand how people feel, but at the end of the day, just like gold. It all depends on what your priorities are, right? If you want to save up to get the card, then don't buy the borders. You know what I mean? Like, is that simple the way I look at it? But if you were here for a while and you got keys and you saved all your keys and then we converted the snap packs, they turned to tokens and you got a ton of tokens, you're like, well, I don't care about ultimate variants. I do get every card every week and I have a bunch of tokens that's sitting there, then this is for you. Now, if you want to make your list look pretty, you have all the wonderful tokens in the world to go ahead and spend it on. But at the end of the day, make sure you guys remember your tokens, buy what you want. You do not have to get these borders. They do not make your cards play better. Make them look better, but not play better. Next on the list, of course, we have something that's huge, something that I didn't know about until this went live, and that was the welcome back experience, right? The win back experience that they have here. And this is pretty cool. I mean, they have a welcome back calendar with bonus challenges, seasons pass discounts, exclusive bundles. I mean, for the players that want to take a break, which I understand, you want to take a break from certain things, or those players who were just fed up with the whole KO issue, and then those people who were fed up from before that, and you want to take a break. But now you see cool things are happening, different, cards are changing, the whole tech cards getting destroyed, fun thing that happened. You want to get back into the game, you're like, you know what? It doesn't make sense. I don't have the cards, I can't catch up. Well, guess what? They're looking out for you now, guys. This mechanic right now, the comeback, the welcome back experience is phenomenal. Now, of course, I can't experience it, but I have seen a lot of videos on the web. Shout out to White Wayne Brady, who recorded videos from other people who were doing their thing, getting their new cards, and the wonderful experience. I think it's pretty cool. I do like this. Shout out to Second Dinner actually doing something like this. And of course, I know they're still working on it to make it even better. But the first version of this, to me, this is a double platinum. How do you feel about it, guys?
I mean, this is something that we've kind of asked for, I don't know, 2 years. And now they're truly recognizing different opportunities, because I think they finally can. And I don't mean that in a negative sense, like they've just been ignoring the player base, but it's more so I will keep saying it through all of 2025, and then once 2026 happens, I will never say it again. But the backlog of work that ended up happening because of the whole self-publishing, TikTok, ByteDance, everything, things that happened in the beginning of the year, that added on so much more work to the entire company, and the amount of people that they needed to hire and train and up. It is not a quick process to do all of that and still make content for the game. So all of the extra things needed to happen. And that's kind of where this is now starting to go, is, okay, look, we're in a much better place as a company. Now we're saying a lot of that stuff is over. We've got a little bit more of a rhythm now. We're listening to the community a little bit differently. And this is a step in the right direction. Is this the official fix and solve? I absolutely don't think so. Not at all. I think it's on the right path, though. And
yes, like I said, first version is perfect. Yeah.
I put out a whole video on that, on this specifically, about so many cards coming out and how difficult it is to catch up, and yet alone keep up, yet alone catch up. So yeah, I think this is a good win in a lot of different ways. But I do think there is more opportunity within here, because I think the system is right, but the amount of gratuity is wrong. I hate to say it. And I know the product team's not going to like hearing that, but
no,
this is the right idea. You're just not there yet. Sorry.
Right. This is the beginning, right? This is the start. So it's a good start in the right direction. We'll see what they do later on. I think people's concern or their frustrations with the whole switch over, I think, is more so the lack of communication. Yes, I'm sure we understand it had a lot of stuff to do, but I think the people would rather hear it from the company. Like, hey, guys, we have a ton of crap we got to fix. Bear with us. And the fact that they didn't hear that, I think a lot of people take it as they're trying to do some stuff under the rug. I mean, listen, this is what I hear. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. And I think this is why a lot of people were more upset than anything else, So, but nonetheless, I agree. We've been talking about this for a long time. And again, Second Dinner is now in their sophomore year. Well, sophomore year is coming up this October.
Junior year.
Junior year. Geez, 3 years? Holy crap. Yes. The junior year is coming up this October. So, I mean, at this point, they have, like you said, 2026 is no more, I guess, not excuses, but there's no more you can really say at this point, hey, you're a senior now, right? You're a senior
Wait
now.
a minute.
You're in the
Wait,
game
I'm
for
like, no,
4
they're
years.
in their junior year. They're about to be in their senior year.
No. They're going to be, no, they're going to be the junior year in October. 3 years in October.
When did the game come out?
22.
23, 24, 25. They're in their junior
Right.
year. It's 2022.
No, October 25. is
October
when
of
they become a junior.
2022 means that through then
No.
through into 2023, that was their freshman year.
Right.
Then
23
2023
to
started.
24
That's their sophomore year. 2024 October.
to 2025.
That means they're in
is
their junior year. And once we hit next month, we will be entering our
Okay.
senior year of second dinner.
Okay. So you want to count it as not when they hit it, but after they hit it. That's fine. Totally understand. But I'm
When
looking
else
at it as
would you
school
count
year.
it?
Well, I'll count it as a school year, right? Because as you look at it from the example of my son is now in the 10th grade. This is his sophomore year, right?
Okay. Yeah,
So
he's
for
in
me,
his 10th
Right, of
grade
course.
sophomore year,
Correct, 'cause
right?
it's
So
not-
when the game
because
released, they're in their 9th grade
Because it-
freshman year.
Right.
As soon as the
Right,
game
because-
launches, right?
Well, like I'm saying, if you look at it from school, that's how you count it. But I'm saying for a game development, do you not count it till the year is done and then you say it? Or do you still count it
No.
like a school year? Okay, so that's all I'm saying. That's how I look at it as. Be counted as a school year for them.
Let us know in
Not
the comments who's crazier here, please.
Yeah, let us know, because I want to know, do we count game development as a school year? Or do we count it as after the year's done, then you say, okay, that's 1 year? You guys let me know. I'm just going based off that. But yes, if we're going based off the school year, their senior year starts in October. To me, I felt the senior year will complete next October, which will count as a senior year. But either way, we're not going to, listen. Next thing we're going to talk about is Kang, ladies and gentlemen. And Kang, my friend, was one of my favorite cards, as you guys know, because I went to Infinite with it. I played a lot with Drac Dump, and it's been phenomenal, his old, wonderful on reveal. Look at what your opponent did, and we start the turn without this. Pretty cool, super fun. A lot of people did not like it. A lot of people did not play the card. The card had the least amount of play compared to some of the other cards. And now, with this patch, Kang has become an Erisham buddy. Kang is now a 3/4 game start. Replace this with 4 Kangs with the text from random cards that cost 3 or more. I did play this a little bit. I did have some fun, and then I stopped. I liked the rework. I do miss the old Kang. I did wish that one of the 4 Kangs still had the old ability. That would be fun to see if you can get that card and restart the turn. But nonetheless, I understand the change was needed. I understand people prefer this change. I'm okay with it. So for me, I'm definitely giving this like a gold for me.
I don't know if we have the right Kang deck yet, though. That's the thing. Like, I think at the moment he's in that like double gold range, but I think somebody is still trying to figure out how to break him. And let me be very clear, Tucker, I love you. The answer is not Surfer. It is Surfer is way less consistent with Kang in the deck because you're adding 3 more cards into the total deck count. So it's now a 15 card deck on game start, and it's less common to get, even if you play King E3 and you get him down a 1 and you choose to play Crystal to get another draw, it's still a reduced chance by 2. Like
I agree.
It's not worth it to do that build. But with that said, I wish it got the Victoria hand buff, but it doesn't, because I think that would help it a lot.
That'd be OP,
Quinjet
though,
Quinjet absolutely is, in my opinion, necessary for this card. Yeah, absolute must. But when you look at it, then that means the basis of your deck is Quinjet, King E3, and all the Kangs.
And yes.
And now the consistency is, one, as we talked about with the Surfer deck, it's already bad. But I'm not a huge fan of as much variance as it gives. I would have loved to have seen him just do 3 pools, like a 3-cost, 4-cost, 5-cost to kind of help differentiate it a little bit more from Iron Patriot and Valentina. It's 3, 4, 5. It's 3 or more, right? So all 3 is 4s, 5s.
I got you.
6, 7, 8. So it does all of those. I would have rather it be like just 3 costs, 4 costs, and 5 costs. So something along those lines, maybe. Or I don't know what the right answer is in that, but I like the idea of this Kang. He's fun. I will say that he was more fun than Jim, who we'll talk about later. But I really enjoyed playing with this card, and I expect to see a lot of it in the next Golden Gauntlet, because I think this is going to be a more consistent Arishem style build, and people are going to experiment in this space a lot.
Yes, I do think he's an Arishem card 1000%. And if our old buddy, your old podcast friend D Money was still around, I'm sure this is one of his favorite cards, that he believed RNG is indeed life. So Kang has become the RNG god at this moment. And yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, it's fun. I did enjoy it, but I do miss the old Kang. I hope they figure out a way to have another card have that ability, or like somebody mentioned in my, have it be a skill to restart the turn. I think that'd be pretty cool too. But we'll see what happens. Nonetheless, we have a bunch of awesome bug fixes. We love bugs getting squashed, but then we get some new ones. I know a lot of people complaining about the retreat, which I haven't really noticed yet. Maybe because I don't retreat, but nonetheless, a lot of people complain about the retreat and how it's jarring and it's doing madness. But nonetheless, they did fix a bunch of other bugs, which I'm very happy about. Now, speaking of a bug, you mentioned this card earlier. Do you not like this card? We're going to go ahead and talk about the one and only Jimmy. Let me go ahead and pull Jimmy up right here, because to me, I think
Mr. Hammond.
Yes. You call him Mr. Hammond, I'm going to call him Jimmy. All right, so like we did before, I don't know if you brought your deck. I brought mine. We're going to go ahead and rate the card, and then we're going to show our decks with him in it. Pause. All the way pause, all right? Now,
yes.
Jim Hammond.
Lots of pause.
Yes, Jim Hammond, Human Torch. Okay, as I understand from the history and the lore, this Human Torch is the first Human Torch. I think I read that right, but nonetheless. Okay, perfect. At the start of each turn, +1 power for each bonus energy you have. Now, I do think Jim Hammond goes great with the card that's coming out next week. I think Jim Hammond also goes great in those lists, like, with Sunspot, etc. But we're going to go ahead and give our ranking and how we feel about it. So for me, I think Jim is definitely on the double silver range. I think you have to do a lot to get him to where you want him to be, or you can do the one big thing and get him to where you need him to be. And I'll show that in my deck list. But at the end of the day, I think Jim is definitely a double silver. Guess, how do you feel about the card before we dive into your list? Trash? We're going to go straight to trash, huh? Boo-boo.
You have to work too hard for such a little payoff. And this is not it's a card that's currently constructed like you're supposed to build around it.
Right.
But it's not strong enough to build around. And once the reversions happen to all of the tech stuff, this card then just becomes fodder trash. I think it is a card that desperately either wants to change its ability or completely change its stats. And it's wanting to be good. Like, I would love seeing this card at 3/5. I think that's a lot more interesting to me than this 1/2. Or make it just a 1/1 that gets +2 power. Because right now it's trying to compete with Nebula, it's trying to compete with Sunspot, and the amount of work you have to do to get those to happen compared to what you have to put into making this card grow in size. Pause. I'm sorry, it's not worth it. I said card. It's just not worth it.
Size.
Yes, this card grow in size. Yes.
I know. I agree.
So that's why I think it's a silver, because it desperately wants to be like the other Human Torch. It's just not gonna get there, and it needs to be a 3 costs higher power, like a 3/5 on this. So much better. Like I would play a 3/5 on this a lot more than I would this 1/2. But in this 1/2, it needs other support.
Yeah, because you would want to play in a 3/5 because already it has 3 extra power to start with, and then of course you don't have to worry about Killmonger destroying it and all that other madness. Because playing Human Torch in the good old Killmonger days, you have to think about protecting it with either armor or Kyera, which is another set of cards you maybe don't want to put in this list because you already have to put cards in this list that gives you enough bonus energy that you can actually get this card to a good place. So I agree with you on that. I do feel it needs something. I would even take it a 2/3 to be happy with it, right? Because this way you don't have to worry about Killmonger destroying it, and at least you don't have to worry about playing it too late.
I could
in the
live
game.
with that.
Yeah, putting in a 2, I think I would be totally happy with it. But because then you have the wait, do we have the human? No Human Torches at 1 anymore. So either way, I think this in at 2/3 would be a perfect spot for it. And let's go ahead and talk about the decks that we brought to go ahead and describe what this looks like. So kicking things off with this list. Oh, it did do it. Look at that. Push one button, it works. Love technology. All right, speaking of kicking things off with guests card list, the Electric Pixie. Now, that's funny because I did have a Pixie list with this card as well. But nonetheless, Sunspot, Human Torch. Can you guys see that? Should I zoom in? Let me zoom in a little bit more. For the people with the wonderful eyes. There we go. All right, so we got Sunspot, Jim Hammond, Human Torch, Pixie Armor, Magic, Electro, Luna Snow, Shuri, War Machine, Taskmaster, She-Hulk, and the Infernaut. So I see what you were doing here, but I'm going to let you go ahead and explain it.
Yeah, I think right now my favorite lists with Jim Hammond were Pixie decks because he's an awful card to draw late. So the upside of not drawing him early, because you want to play him early, right? If you don't get him down early, he needs to have another purpose in the deck. And to have that 1 cost reallocate to somewhere else, like a She-Hulk or an Infinite or even a War Machine when it hits that, that's great. And this was my better performing. I'm not going to say great. I'm not going to say top. I'm going to say this is my better performing deck out of the different lists that I ran with Pixie. And I think there's something in this space for him. But there are just much better Pixie lists out there than this. So if you're gonna play him, I say play it in a Pixie list, but enjoy it just for now, because you won't settle on it being the number 1 Pixie list you've ever played before. That's unfortunately where he's at.
Okay, that's totally fine. And at the end of the day, I think cards like this need other cards to help it out. So in the future, I don't know, I haven't looked at data mines that much. I don't know if there's any cards that can do like what Hell's Kitchen, right? Hell's Kitchen is the one that pulls 1 cost cards from your deck. Like we need a card that does something that Hell's Kitchen does to kind of get this card out nice and early, or another way to pull this card out sooner than just using Crystal. Nonetheless, I mean, something that can also buff and give you a bonus energy besides the Luna, besides the Electro, because at the end of the day, that's what he needs to get to powers that, Sunspot and Nebula could do without that much work, as you mentioned before. So we're going to go ahead and look at my list here that I utilized, and this list was pretty fun. So let me go ahead and pull this up right now. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So the Jimmy list. So Jimmy has Jim Hammond, Armor, just like you did, Red Guardian, Brood, Human Torch, Surfer, Viv Vision, Sebastian Shaw, Surfer First Step, Shuri, Galacta, and Fallen One. So you guys may ask me, why do we have this type of a Surfer build with Jim Hammond? Well, very simple, because if you pull off the combo, the Shuri, Surfer First Steps into Fallen One, you can get Mr. Jimmy Hammond to like 119, okay? Sitting in a nice armor lane, nice and protected. Or you can do the Viv Vision stuff and buff the Human Torch while he's in your hand, or buff the Brood. Still do your Surfer base fun things here, or hit it with Galactic as well. And of course, you're hoping to at least get the Fallen One out there. I mean, that's the only way to get Jimmy to pop off. I mean, that's the kind of list I put him in. It did work out because in most cases, if we get the crazy big Jimmy pause, it worked out well because we also got a big Fallen One. But if we didn't do that, at least if we got the big Fallen One, we could still play the Surfer Madness with the Broods, the Human Torch, the Sebastians, the Surfer, etc. So in most cases, I was winning because of the Surfer stuff. But when I did get the big Jimmy pause, it worked out well as well. So that's my list for Jim Hammond. That's a guest list for Jim Hammond. I hope you guys enjoy this new segment we like to do so you guys can actually see what lists we were playing and what we think might be best for you. But I think looking at both lists, guests may have the most ideal one, minus Pixie, but having stuff like Luna Snow and Electro to give you the extra bonus energy you need to get Jim to actually bulk up. Yeah, the big
He's an
Jimmy,
okay
that's right.
card, because we get like it. I guarantee, like in a month's time, he'll get a buff in some way, and then he'll be like, okay, now let's play it.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think any buff we give to Jimmy, we're going to be like, let's play a Jimmy deck. I do not see it happening. I don't. I think there's so many cards that are coming out, so many cards that are out right now that we would prefer to play over Jimmy.
I agree with that. Deck. Don't get me wrong.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like why would we want to play him unless they change it, like you said, unless the buff includes his ability changing, getting +2 or something else crazy like that. But if it's just the same, they buff his power. I think no. I mean, listen, honestly, they make him a 0/2. Even that, I might not even care to play Jimmy. I don't know, man. It's tough, but we'll see.
I'd play happens. A 0/0 Jimmy. That makes
a 0/0 Jimmy. Okay, it goes great with Pixie. It will go great with Pixie. So I totally agree with that. All right. So on to our next card, the card that is coming out next week, which I think more people will have a little bit more fun with. And that is the one and only Warlock. Not to be confused with Adam Warlock, because I know a lot of people may be getting confused with that. But nonetheless, here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Warlock is a Series 5 3/3. Activate. For each unspent energy, give a card in your hand -1 cost. So, I guess I'm going to let you go first with this one. How do you feel about this preview card coming out next week? The Warlock, the wonderful Technarchy.
I think Warlock is a incredibly interesting card because he's going to take what you want to do organically in a lot of decks and just make them better. The floating and skipping of energy, a lot of decks are predicated on that idea. You look at high evolutionary decks, you look at She-Hulk Infinite decks. Jim Hammond obviously just came out, wants you to have extra energy, and then this gives you another reason to prepare for it. There's going to be some great stuff that happens because of this. And I wonder, my only reservation / hesitation with this card is the fact that it's an activate. And
yeah.
Half of the games, because you draw in a standard 12-card deck, by turn 3, you've drawn half of your deck. So it's a 50-50 shot to get him down on turn 3 in any given game. If you get him down on turn 3, you're playing the Warlock line most likely is going to be my guess on this.
Right.
However, if you don't draw him by turn 3, I think you have to just immediately sacrifice it as a dead card, even if you draw it later. Even on turn 4, draw it to draw it on 4, play it on 4, activate it on 5. You're probably behind what you were trying to set up for most likely. So it's the only thing about this card I'm really curious to see in play.
Right. If
it actually has that feeling or not. So I'm excited for the card because it's got some great deck building possibilities. Yeah. But I'm reserved.
A little hesitant. I totally get it. I mean, we've been excited for cards in the past, like Nightmare, right? And other cards that were like, yo, this is going to be crazy. And then you realize when you play it, I don't know. It's okay. It's subpar. For me, I think this card is going to be a diamond card this season, only because of the card right below it, right? Jocasta, activate, to cheat energy or get a discount in cost and then have another card that does it again for you. Do it for you and then you do it again afterwards. I think Warlock is going to be the diamond card this month. And yes, I'm going to say it because I want to say it. Infinite is going to love this card. So even if you do draw it on 4, even if you do draw it on 4 and play it on 4 and you skip turn 5 but activate this, you're going to help your hand out, right? So for me, of course, you guys, I'm putting him in the Infinite decks to start. So even if you don't draw him early enough, you can still play your Infinite She-Hulk lines or your High Evo lines. If you guys play High Evo, right? the Sunspot, the Jim Hammond, the She-Hulk, the Infinite, these cards that, and even in the high evo decks, those cards that love you to float energy, I think Warlock is going to be great in, and I think he's going to bring back that wonderful feeling of playing those big, crazy cards, especially now that Shang-Chi has been tamed, right? Because now you can fill your lane up with 10 or more cards. Yeah, for now, right. For now. So I think this week, Warlock is going to have a blast, really having fun with a bunch of decks, not just that's not the Infinite decks, but think about all the other decks that have low-cost cards. This could be an additional help to bounce maybe, or even move, right? Being able to discount those cards on that final turn. So now in turn 6, you have probably 0 costs, 1 cost cards, and 1 cost, 2 cost cards. I think Warlock definitely might be the most fun card this season. Now, I haven't played the card that you're going to talk about later, so I don't know how much fun she is, but I think Warlock might be the most fun, and I think the next card that's coming out next week is going to be something else.
I do think something needs to be said, though, with Warlock. Yes. If you plan on getting Joe Costa, you should probably plan on also getting Warlock.
Yes.
Because I do think that those two will go hand in hand for some very strong decks by default.
Agreed. If you have Jennifer Kale sitting in your trunk, definitely pull her out for this too, right? Those are the cards that I think you guys are going to enjoy playing with Warlock. All right, so preview rating. I know you conserved, but what are you giving it?
Preview rating, I'm gonna give it platinum.
All right, I'm definitely.
I'll leave it at a calm. Like I was about to say double gold, but I'm like, I'm gonna lean positive because I am worried about that turn 3. But I'm gonna lean positive and say platinum.
I wish it was on reveal. To be honest with you, if it was on reveal, it would have been so much better. But it would have been so much dangerous, right? Because if you played on turn 5 with Grandmaster, your whole hand might be just 0, right?
Yep.
I'm with you, but I'm still giving it a diamond. And I'm rating that diamond on the most fun you're going to have this season, I think, in my opinion. Because some of the cards, we ain't going to front, is lackluster, right? Vision, okay. You mentioned it yourself. And at first I was like, nah, Guess you're bugging. Then I started playing with her again. I'm like, I think Guess is right. She is super lackluster. Jimmy, we're not even going to talk about Jimmy. And like I said, the other card we're going to mention shortly, you're going to tell us about. And I think Jocasta, like I said, she is just more so a card to help out your activates. She's the Wong of your activates. So I'm excited. Well, not really your Wong, but you get what I'm saying. Your Grandmaster then of your activates. So I'm kind of excited to see how that goes. So for me, diamond card of the season. All right. So speaking of the next topic, you know what's interesting? I don't see any posts on your wonderful day today. Today is Guest Day, guys. I'm not calling it Deadpool Diner Day. It is Guest Day. And I don't see a post. I didn't see a blog. All I saw was this amazing video that you put out. What are you talking about? What, you see a blog?
I reposted it.
The blog?
I reposted it. Oh. No, the video itself on X. No, I reposted
the video. You're good. The video I saw. I'm talking about I don't see a blog I can put up on the screen right now to show the people while we talk about it. That's what I'm saying.
About Deadpool's Diner? There's no blog for DPD. It's just in Discord, I think, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes. So I'm saying I don't see a blog. I'm surprised. Normally we do get some type of information that we could throw on the screen while we talk about it. But like I said, I enjoy watching the video anyway. People like to watch videos over reading, so I'm not mad at that at all. But nonetheless, Deadpool Diner is back, ladies and gentlemen, and I know you guys have been watching Guest play it this whole time, but for those who are now listening and watching the podcast, if you haven't played Deadpool Diner yet, shame on you. It is a completely reworked event that if you haven't watched the Guest video first, the link is down below. Watch that first and then come back to this point, okay? And listen to what we have to say about it. Now, Guest. How do you feel? First, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to give you like a nice little interview question. All right. You've been doing videos for Second Dinner for some time. They trust you. They know what you can do when it comes to explaining different modes and, keeping things positive, real. Oh, not positive, real with everyone, right? Whether it be them or the community. So cheers to you on that. The question I have for you is, when playing Deadpool Diner, before you even started making a video, you're putting together the stuff for the content for the video, what was your first thoughts on Deadpool Diner, new version? Initial
legitimately, because kind of
Yes.
some inside baseball thing. Second Dinner didn't know if they were going to do a Deadpool Diner video, and they were uncertain about making one because I won't say the reasons why, but they were uncertain about making one. So I said, I am interested in doing a video for it. Let me take a look at the game mode, and I'll give you my honest feedback. And if I honestly think, remove all like personal interest, if I honestly think that it would be pointless because it's not different enough, or it's not something to like when we have High Voltage come back every single time. Nobody makes a High Voltage video every single time, right? Is this just a return with some tweaks, or is this a whole rework, right? And this video was after I played the game mode. I was, testing the different elements, looking at the different, progressions, the resources, etc. I went back to the team and I said, this is a new game mode. You need to honestly let people know that this is not your average Deadpool Diner, because the first one went over okay, minus day one. The second one was very ill received. And now this good. And then this one, I was like, this is a whole different thing. You need to do a compare and contrast. You need to let people know before and after, literally, of the changes to show that it doesn't work like this anymore. This part is familiar to you, but now it's a whole nother ball game, because people like resource shops, right? So the nacho shop, you can't just drop that in there. It does need a little bit of explaining. So I gave that feedback to the team, and they were like, okay, go for it.
Okay.
So I scripted out a video, which is what's literally pretty almost verbatim what's on the screen. And I sent them the script and said, if you want to look for it, if you want any feedback on it, go for it, have fun. But this is what I've scripted it as, and I put all the editorial notes as well before I even did, the editing part. Video. I sent it to them and said, this is what I'm wanting to do with the video. It's going to be short. I'm expecting probably around the 4 to 5 minute range. It ended up being 3 because I just flew through it. And I was like, it needs to be punchy and to the point to just show this is not what it was before. And they saw the script. They were cool with it. They liked it. And I did my thing. I took all the B-roll. I took all the recordings. And then I wanted to have a catchy beginning, which is why I literally opened the whole video with the old video entirely. So the first 6 seconds before the drop down portion happens in the beginning of the video where I appear for the first time, that's literally just the beginning of the first video. And I paused it exactly when I did to make sure that people realize, wait a minute, it doesn't look like this anymore. Now it looks like this. And the board is different. The states are different. Like everything is really fucking different. So it was cool to see how much community feedback they took, which is why I felt it was worthy of, okay, let's roll it. Because if I didn't do that, I was going to end up doing a character video, most likely, probably in the beginning of next season. Because I was like, I want to do something. And I was like, no, I want to do this. I think it's going to be a worthwhile announcement video to say, it's different, I promise. So, yeah.
I mean, I don't know who else could have done the video, to be honest, but nonetheless, I like that. I like that you were able to give them the feedback, say, hey, this is completely different. It's awesome. We should make a video on it, and you did a great job, so shout out to that. So then my next question comes down to, now that you played it, now that you've had more time with it than anybody else, do you think a Deadpool Diner Next is in the future? You think it's done so well, day one, couple hours, that you can see another version coming out? And can this version be similar to this one or another completely rework?
There will not be Deadpool's Diner Overdrive. No, I do not see an expedited version or another version of Deadpool's Diner. I think that this asset is too important to them to literally to mess up. And if they did another variation on it, it's also way too limiting, because it worked for high voltage to do high voltage and high voltage overdrive because it's just fast and faster. Right. It's the theme of high voltage. But for Deadpool's Diner, they did not release this earlier because they took extra time to do all of the changes to it that you see today.
Right.
Because it was slated in the calendar to come back at other times, but come back as like the last version of it. And it never did, because the team recognized the community is not happy with it. We're not happy with the engagement with it. We need to continue working on it in the background and release it properly. And that's why you have Deadpool's Diner that you have today, and why it took so long for it to come back, because they spent the extra time redoing a whole bunch of stuff.
I haven't played it yet myself. I can't wait to dive into it. So I'm kind of excited about it based on the videos and the stuff I've seen everybody playing. I went to people's streams and everybody's having a good time and enjoying it. And of course, in my Discord, everybody else is happy. They love the new mode. So I can't wait to dive into it. I also like the fact, a lot of people I'm sure didn't know, I know you didn't know as well, but Deadpool Batman came out yesterday. So it's like Deadpool Diner at the right time, right? Like this is cool to see all this kind of come out at the right time together, because now you can then talk about, hey guys, check out Deadpool Diner and Marvel Snap, right? Because it's now a whole Deadpool theme. But I do like the new board a lot. I do like it a lot.
Yeah,
I do like the whole mechanic of him scribbling and changing a location. When, I'm asking you because only you will know, second in employee of the decade, of the junior year.
There you go.
The question I have for you is, when are we going to get boards? I would love to see boards in a token shop. No lie. Matter of fact, you can put in a gold shop. You can put in a dollar shop if you want to, for all I care. When are we getting boards? Because I think seeing the Deadpool Diner boards, seeing everybody playing on the different boards today, I was like, this looks like a whole different game. It feels like a whole different game. Not just Marvel Snap. It feels like it's a different game. I think boards alone will help push that, right? Make the game feel different and fresh. So what do you think about that?
A couple of videos ago, I got to do the roadmap video. I want to say it was about a year ago. And in that roadmap video, we teased new boards.
Dinosaur board, yeah.
Potentially, that dinosaur looking board video that we threw right at the end of the video.
Right.
That was a teaser intentionally. Because if you look at the timing of when that video came out, it lines up perfectly with why we don't have boards right now. My personal guess, not based on anything that I do not know, is that it got put on the back shelf because they needed to prioritize all the self-publishing, and then they were backlogged on work. And I wouldn't be surprised if that came back into the forefront sooner, now that that kind of stuff is done and more complete than it was before. And now we're seeing other things be revisited. I would not be surprised if they revisited that as well, because I would like it just as much. I agree. I'm tired of playing on the rock. We need some other game boards,
Asgards and etc.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. It wasn't an idea that went away. I personally believe that it is an idea that just needed to be shelved because it did not need to be a priority because of all of what happened. That's my personal guess.
Fair. Okay. Listen, I trust you because, like I said, second in employee of the decades. I think it'll be super fun. I'm not even worried about the draft mode, etc. I think boards will be epic to come out with. Now, my final question is, Deadpool Diner is now considered, I think, your baby, right? Can you see anybody else doing another Deadpool Diner video besides yourself?
Yes.
Oh, you can? Okay, and who can that be? You don't want to mention it?
I think there's a creator in this community who underestimates their own value and what they could be bringing to the community, and they undercut themselves. and they're very good at what they do, and they don't understand how good they are at what they do yet. And the reason I won't say their name publicly is because I know that they will figure it out on their own. And the moment they do, they will explode.
Listen,
I called it with Tucker,
response.
and I see it with somebody else too.
Okay, all right. Chat, is this somebody we know? Is it somebody we know? That's a good question.
It is somebody that you definitely know in the Marvel Snap community, yes.
Fair enough. All right, so final words for Deadpool Diner. How do you feel about it? What's your take? What you tell people to talk about it? Let's hear it.
All right, so in regards to the actual game mode, like, it's one thing to play test it and you're playing against mostly bots, right? Obviously, because you're in a test client. And it's another thing to play against people and actually be playing your own account, and you know, your snap equity changes. You know, in the test client, you don't care as much,
right?
Because you can just add resources if you need to. Like, it is what it is, because you're testing, you're filming, right? Here, it's my own nachos. It's my own bubs. I did already pass on feedback to Second Dinner now that it was in my account, where I felt like there was one opportunity that I wish I had caught earlier and I would have passed on feedback on, which is I wish that if you win, you also get one of the nacho bubs. So you could do your 3 snaps.
Explain.
Which, you know, for every 3 snaps on a table, you get a certain number of nachos as a reward. So win or lose, the amount of snaps that you play, the amount of snaps that you incur in the battles continue to go and grow. So you can snap 3 times every single game and you'll constantly get 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. But if you lose, obviously you lose bubs and you can't be on that stronger table anymore. But and this is the reference example I gave them too, it feels wrong for somebody else to snap 3 times, lose the match, and I won the match, and I get 0 nacho credit, and they get a full nacho plate. And that part felt weird, because they snapped and I chose not to, because sometimes the locations are predicated on your ability to snap. Like, there's no reason for me to snap on a location that's going to keep moving my opponent's cards or move my own cards when I don't want them to. Why would I snap on those moments?
I think that's just fair.
Right. I think as a win outside of bubs, you should get 1 nacho thing as well. And
I like that.
I think it's an easy change. It's a simple economic change, and it might not come immediately. It might come in like another iteration of the mode, you know, in like the next version, you know, that they add that on to the track. But I think as an economy piece, they have to account for it. But I do think it feels bad to only win bubs when you win. But the other guy might have just gotten what's more important, in my opinion, which is the nachos. Because I foresee it being a problem in the future. Like, once you finish the rewards track, you finish the rewards track. But the shop is going to take longer to do. So the nachos are more important.
Right. Now,
but if you're... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I have a question. Sorry. Could you spend gold or currency to get more nachos? Like, if you want to buy the
things in the shop, you could just gold it out if you want to, absolutely.
Okay.
But there's no reason to do so.
No, of course not. I'm just saying, because then if you, based on what you're saying, like, would they even consider it? Like, listen, if it becomes a problem, like, if they're concerned they're not be able to get all the nachos they need, they can still buy nachos. But I do hear you. If they don't, why spend money? You're right. You won. You should get something. So I agree.
Yeah, I do think that overall it's a very generous mode. And like, I played, you know, as soon as it came out, right? So for me, I'm going to talk in my time zone. So it comes out right at 4 o'clock. By 8:30, I had Danger. And I invested for the purposes of content to make sure I could play Danger before having this conversation with you today for the podcast. I pushed it forward, which I would, if you haven't started yet, I do recommend spend the 700 gold. I'm not going to lie, because it will save you a tremendous amount of time as long as you win that next match with 1 nacho.
Okay. I got you.
Like,
okay.
Just win the next match. That's all you need to do. Yeah, total I spent 900, but I spent 700 for one big push, and then I lost 2, but I didn't want to lose what table I was at, so I spent 100 twice. So in total I invested 900 gold. But the big jump to 700 to bring you up 2 tables, up to the 3rd table out of 4, absolutely was worth it for
Makes
the purposes of time. Because my time does have a dollar amount to it, and you know, as someone who might not play as frequently, you know, it might be something you want to think about. That, hey, I want to spend 700 gold so I can expedite faster and get a good kickstart as long as you really are locked in on that first game. That's really what it matters, where it comes down to.
Okay. So you got Danger, as you mentioned. You played with her.
Yes.
Give me your rating, give me your breakdown. What do you think about her?
So it'll actually, I think it comes out tomorrow. I did do a small short for Danger to promote Danger for Marvel Snap as well. So I did get to build a couple of decks in Theorycraft and prepare for that. And I think Danger is going to be a surprisingly good card. I have 4 decks that I want to test. I only got to test one of them before the podcast. And the first one that we opened with was a Nomura deck.
Ooh.
And it
Destroy
works.
Is bigger than that. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
less power than that. Yeah.
At one point, I think it was a 26 power Nomura, a 26 power Danger that just destroyed a Red Hulk without even needing to bat an eye.
Oh my gosh.
It was so lovely.
That is so messed
up. What I like about having Danger in that deck was it provided another outline of, you're thinking about playing Danger similar to how you play Lasher, right? You want it down, beef it up, and then on the final turn, after everything's happened, you're activating, right? This card also really helps to give you another easier reinforcement out if you don't get Wong or Symbiote Spider-Man to go into Nomura to get the extra procs. So that I found really, really important while playing it. Very quickly, I realized like, oh, this is a nice 4-drop to have in this deck where I'm either playing Wong, Danger, or Symbiote Spider-Man on 4 into Nomura on 5 because you spend all the other time setting up your lanes with Agony and Lasher and Jeff and Frankie Ray. You could play, if you don't have Frankie Ray, you could play Cosmo, works the same way. Ironheart, Magic, absolutely in this deck, even with all the Merlin out there. Magic is a definite need in this deck too. But it has the outplay of, okay, if you don't get the whole Nomura thing, it's still a 4/6, and it's going to destroy something smaller than it. So, like, I beat a Cerebro deck because it just immediately took out a Cerebro. Not a bad thing, you know? So, I'm typically pretty hesitant on 4-cost activates. It's very similar to Symbiote Spider-Man, but this is a good one. You drop this thing on 4, the value of it's at minimum 411. Most of the time, and at least in this build, it felt like it was way more. Several moments.
I'm intrigued you're not using Zabu here.
No, you don't need to, because you're not trying to expedite Wong into Danger into Nomura Doom. Danger is a secondary play line, because your primary play lines on a general Nomura deck is you're wanting to get down Lasher, Frankie Ray, Jeff, and those are the cards you're looking to beef up. And then you're looking on 4 to play Wong into Symbiote Spider, or Wong or Symbiote Spider-Man into Nomura and Doom. Sorry, Nomura and Odin, excuse me.
Odin.
But if you don't draw them, Nomura decks feel very weak on turn 4, because then you're just like scraping for points. Playing Danger is a very strong singular card.
It's another backup that's very strong.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed having that flexibility for Danger to say, I could just still play that down. And worst case scenario, even if I just Ironheart it or I play Danger on Agony, it's a 4/9 that destroys anything smaller than it. That's still good. So it had a lot of flexibility to destroy bigger cards than just 4/6. Than 6 power, excuse me.
6 power.
So
yeah.
it was very good in that deck. And I have a Wiccan build I want to try. I have a General Destruction deck I want to try again with it. And I have a hand buff deck that I want to try with it. And that I'll probably try tomorrow. But, well, Friday, depending on when you're hearing. Yeah. Today, tomorrow. You know what I meant.
Today,
we're recording
tomorrow,
on Thursday.
business.
It'll be Friday. Just
Yes.
if I'm live, I'm testing it. You get the idea. But
Danger.
it's a great animation too. Just the giant gun that comes out and boom. Yeah.
Wow. Better than Sentinel? We need to put Sentinel on the
It's
deck
on
now,
par.
Too. Like,
it's on par with Sentinel. It's like if Sentinel and my God, what's that location with the shotgun sound effect that you lose -4?
Fixed Tower.
Yeah, it's like Fisk Tower and Omega Sentinel had a laser gun baby.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's quite cool.
I gotta check this out.
It's a good animation.
Gotta check this out. I can't wait. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I can't wait to get this card. Going to play some Deadpool Diner either tonight or tomorrow, so it's going to be fun. I cannot wait to get that. So, rating for it right now off the back, you're giving it a platinum? What are you giving it?
I'm not going to rate it, to be honest. It's too early to tell. Early. I only got to do a very small amount of games with Danger, and I want to try the other decks as well to get a more well-rounded assessment before I decide if I truly like the card. But
like it or not.
As of right now, deck 1, that felt really good.
All right. So, as you guys heard it here first, 700 gold. Get up there to that third table. Make sure you're locked in, win the game, help you climb up that wonderful, was it the, I forget the name of it. Climb up the what? What is it called? The
Deadpool Diners, the track. The track.
What do they call it? Does it have a name? I thought it had a name.
What, like the actual track itself?
Yeah, the track never had a name.
The maximum rewards track.
Maximum rewards track. There we go. Okay, yes.
Maximum effort. Yes. Sorry, maximum effort track.
Maximum effort. There you go.
Yeah.
That thing. Make sure you guys pay the gold early. Try it out. I mean, 700 gold is what a variant costs, right? You don't need that variant. Yeah. Go ahead and get you this wonderful card. Go ahead and play Deadpool Diner and have some fun. What's the problem?
No problem. I just want to make it clear that you don't have to spend the 700 gold. But if you want to save a good amount of time, I would say go for it.
Yeah. Guys, don't ever have to spend your money. Don't listen to me. I'm not a financial advisor, okay? I just have every variant in the game. But I'm saying if you want to, speed up the process, you don't have time. Deadpool Dine's out for 6 days. You only got 3 days to play. I think it'll be a smart choice for you to go ahead and spend that gold and lock in and win. But nonetheless, you play how you want to play. That's the great thing about Marvel Snap. Now, what I think they did wrong, which I didn't mention and I want to mention now, Kang. The ultimate Kang variant should have been embedded code in the shop for everyone that did not have it that day when it released. Because I think everyone would have spent their 5K tokens to get that Kang variant.
Tech.
What? What's the problem?
If you don't have the card, you don't see the variant.
That's fair. Okay. All right. So, this is my life. This is what happens when you have all the variants, guys. I mean, I'm sorry. My bad, chat.
Way to be a shit on her.
My bad, guys. Okay. Well, then you know what they should have done? They should have had a gold
full
bundle.
Collection problems. Jeez.
Yes. They should have had a gold bundle with a Kang variant that came out that day. That gold bundle could have been 1,000 gold. Could have been very inexpensive. And I think everyone would have purchased that Kang bundle when Kang's new rework came out. I think that's something they missed. I think going forward, they should really think about that. Because I think everyone would have brought that Kang bundle. Because everybody was trying to get Kang after the rework change. So I think that's something they should really think about in the near future. All right. Kang does have an ultimate variant.
He had spotlights. I don't know about the ultimate, though. What's the Kang ultimate? I'm actually not familiar with it.
Let's see if I'm going crazy. Because I could be talking about...
That is very likely, though.
I could be talking about the spotlight variants. Yeah, I am talking... Wait, hold on. No. Let's see.
One,
yeah,
is it
the spotlight variant.
I swear, if you say the baby Scotty Young, I'm going to be really disappointed in you.
No. I was talking about the one I like the most, which is the Keel one. I like that one the most. So I thought that was an ultimate. That's actually a spotlight variant. The one with him standing like in front of space. It looks like a timeline behind him, and he's holding like his big gun over his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Let me show it to you guys.
I know which one you mean.
Yeah, I thought that was
that
ultimate.
one.
You're right.
Yeah,
It's
no,
a
that's not an
spotlight.
ultimate. Maybe now we get an ultimate Kang though. Yeah, that's a spotlight. Yeah, as you see it there.
I like this one a lot. It's definitely my favorite variant. Okay, fine. Have a bundle with Kang. I think everybody would have purchased it that day because Kang was doing big things for every person seeing it out there on the meta. Now, wrap things up. Let's go ahead and look at some of our wonderful comments from our last video. And we'll kick things off with Adrian's. I think a really good thing that comes out of the OTA is that people will experiment with newer tech cards. Most players have probably stuck with using the tech cards they knew, and those are the originals form of Series 1 and 2. It's time for the new tech cards to see some use. I agree. I think with these wonderful changes to OTA, the other tech cards that I don't even think, what other tech cards Mobius still get used. What other tech cards you think are out there that people were like, now that I can't use Shang-Chi.
That's kind of where I was going to go with that too.
Yeah,
it's like
yes. What other tech cards?
Not in the sense of what other tech cards, but the other tech cards that you refer to in that statement are most likely Mobius and Stardust. And in the moment of that OTA dropping, those were already the two most prevalent OTA, tech cards. So that didn't, it was like anyone from the bronze medal and lower was really being used way more often.
Right.
And that's the ones they hit more.
Exactly. So interesting. Nonetheless, next comment was, I like the idea of Killmonger destroying cards in the other locations. I think you or KM brought that up, and that is a great idea. If they change Killmonger to only destroy the cards in the other two locations, yep, it was definitely you, the brainiac of the crew, because that also, again, allow you now, just like Destroyer, allow you to play cards, your one-cost cards in your lane with the Killmonger, right? You don't have to worry about, I'm going to destroy my demon. Now you don't have to worry about that because Killmonger only destroys the cards in the other two lanes. And it also tells your opponents, play some trick with your opponent. So now mind games where your opponent's going to put down their one cost. So I like that a lot. Somebody said, bro, this is such a dope trio. They love it. Okay, I love it too. Thank you very much, guys. Love these three together. You get it. You get it all. You got the host and Kevin. My name is Ken, chat, but okay.
Close.
Kevin.
So close.
They were close. The lasting guests and the gameplay knowledge from KO. Listen, I'll be Kevin. You're going to be Kevin today? I'll be Kevin. No problem. I think one of the biggest issues with the OTA actually is the other cards that were striving to make their way that are effective. Perhaps the worst might be Morgan Le Fay because of Killmonger making her thing work and worthwhile is much harder now, which makes sense. True. I do like that statement because Killmonger was the catalyst to help Miss Le Fay, and now with him only destroying cards in that lane, poor Morgan Le Fay now has to find another route to get her cards to come out. I agree.
I think Morgan Le Fay makes a comeback somehow. I think people kind of invest a little further into Morgan decks in the future. And I think Morgan might justify herself in the future as a 4/8. If Misery can get to 4/9, I don't see why Morgan can't get to 4/8.
Get to 4/8. I agree. And I think, and Morgan did her job in the last Golden Gauntlet. So put some spec on her name, everybody. All right. Then, of course, somebody said STG was hilarious this episode. When do I play Jim Hammond? I do remember that. Like, guys, when do I play Jim Hammond then? Like, yeah, it was hilarious. Turn 1 tech. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about me. Sometimes, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. All right, love these chats. KM guests. Of course, we got some KM guest chats in the chat. I thought the Discord announcement was cute. I like how it fits with the theme of the season. Maybe they could have included a blurb at the bottom of what Glenn expressed. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. That's
fair. Yeah. Somebody said the problem with it being a joke is that you have to deal with it for 2 weeks. Now I'm good because I'm missing like maybe 5 cards But a lot of these tech cards are staples, and not everyone has Cosmic Ghost Rider, Stardust in their collection. Okay, I understand that. For those people who don't have the newer tech cards and they only had the older tech cards, and now those tech cards have been tweaked or touched, like we like to say here on the stream, doesn't mean that the tech cards still can't be used. People still are playing Shang-Chi. Still are people playing Killmonger. You can still play Cosmo. You can still play Negasonic. You can still play Juggernaut. It's just that it pushes you to play it differently. So for me,
I took Shadow King in its current state in Pixie Chef's Ultron Patriot Pixie list. I took that 3/3 Shadow King and I took it to Infinite.
There you go. And I played Viv with a 3/0. What's his name? What's that guy?
Red Guardian.
Red Guardian, and I got my Infinity ticket last night. So yeah, guys, you can still play with the cards. It's just you have to now play it a little differently. And I think that's the point of the OTA. So let's see what happens. As someone who consumes a lot of Snap content, simply judging by the pop of notice, I was pretty upset that they appeared they were taking the game in a different direction, featuring less counterplay. Then I read the notes to see that they were likely going to be changed and reverted, and my understanding was confirmed after seeing Glenn's statement. Yeah, so a lot of people did see the pop-up and was like, what the F? Because they didn't know it was a joke, because the pop-up in the game kind of was just like, OTA changes. Laugh in the face, and I get it. But after people went to Discord and after people saw Glenn's statement, they was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. You guys some people love this game to the point where they don't want anything to change. And some people love this game to the point where they want to see change. I think Second Dinner is one of the companies out there, or maybe the best company out there, that really does great balance changes and will make changes if need be. They're not going to sit back and go, well, like back in the day, Shuri Red Skull, that's not a problem. Let's keep that going for another couple of seasons. Everybody will be okay. No. They have since changed since those days with Shuri Red Skull to where if something is a problem, okay, next week is getting handled. So not to worry, guys. They definitely do balance the game out a lot. I understand the change, guys. I get it. Kang was one of my cards I like to play, and he changed. He's no longer the Kang I love. So I totally understand what you mean. All right, we'll go with the last one before we wrap up here. Could be used to push to get you to invest in new tech cards. Second Dinner often says one thing and does another, so never mind the comment on the Glenn Dev say about the OTA. Rather, wait and check back in 2 weeks. Regardless, keen to see more of the spaghetti decks I've been seeing. I've seen some crazy cooks. Yeah, that's another thing to think about. These changes have brought up some crazy looking cooks now. A lot of people were upset with the whole, was it tech slop soup? That's what they're calling it. And now with these changes, we're seeing some different cooks, some crazy cooks. And yeah, I think the meta is in a great place. Did we say that? I mean, knock on wood, but I think it is, guys. We could play any list you want and you can win a Golden Gauntlet tournament.
This is true. I think I still believe, even with the changes to the tech cards, sure, the ceiling is a lot higher for a lot more decks right now. And when changes come down the pipeline and reversions are made or adjustments are made to some of these like middle ground tech card changes, like when that moment happens, then we're just going to have to do what we did last week, which is reassess the meta, figure out what people are going to be playing, and then you learn how to play around it. And guess what? It's just like the beginning of the season multiple times. You just learn to play around it. That's all. So and you have to. That's the world of Marvel Snap.
Yes, agreed.
I don't know.
Totally agree. All right, guys, it's been great. It's been awesome. We do have wonderful things right now. We have Deadpool Dyna out right now with a chance to get a new card. We have a new card that's currently out in Jim Hammond. We have a new card coming out next week, and we have another card coming out after that. So, guys, keep enjoying Marvel Snap, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.